truck from the farm to the elevator hauling grain at the age of 14. Perfectly illegal, perfectly acceptable, because who else is going to drive the grain truck and not get paid? And the elevator agent made me a job offer. His name was Wayne Wyman. I'll never forget it. He said, Jeffrey, I need to hire someone and pay them to do a job for me at this elevator. I said, well, what's the job? And he said, I need someone to clean the boot. And at that point, if there's any farmers in the room, they have PTSD. Because the boot is the most horrid, dusty place on the face of the earth, never mind in a grain elevator. So the grain elevators are very dusty places when grain's being hauled to them. This one doesn't hold any grain anymore. But it did. And on all the grain, the truck would drive in right here, and it would tip up, the hoist, the hoist would tip, or the hoist would lift the truck to tip it, and the grain would fall in this pit. And just kind of adjacent to the pit, there's this space where all the dust would go, and it's called the boot. And the reason it's called the boot is because this thing here, if anyone, you can see with the blue circle on top, you see those cups, those sort of cups on that belt inside, that thing is called the leg. And the leg lifts the grain to the top of the elevator. It elevates it. That's why this thing's called an elevator. And so, of course, the leg goes into the boot. It just, farming is common sense, they say. Apparently, Michael tries to tell me it's not, but I think it is. So my job was to go down and clean the boot, because someone had to do it, and it wasn't going to be the elevator agent. The elevator agent was going to find some unsuspecting child from the village to crawl into this hole. It's a very teeny hole with a 5-gallon bucket and go up and down a ladder for a weekend and clean the dust out of this thing. And I found every rodent in the Touchwood Hills in that pit. I'm also not Catholic, and I believe I discovered purgatory. It's in that hole in Punashai. So I've been obsessed with elevators ever since. In the 50s in Saskatchewan, there were over 3,000 of these 30,000 bushel elevators. Today there's less than 175. They're either falling down and burning and rotting, etc. Kevin has done an amazing job preserving this one. So give him a round of applause. He's right over there, spending his own hard-earned cash to do so. And I don't have the means to preserve one, but I wanted to write a song about one because I thought that would help to sort of raise awareness of these things. So to do that, I imagined one on its last day before it met the fate that many of these things meet before the bulldozer pulled up. So this is my song about that. It's called More Than 2x4s and Timber. They drove for miles from every corner of the countryside. Tomorrow would be too late, so they came to see it just one last time. There was a TV camera there by the railroad tracks. Some folks were pointing, looking up at it, but most were looking back. Used to be 3 grocery stores in town. There's just one left. Padlocked the doors, board windows up. Place looked a little frayed at the edges. And that church where they'd sing on Sundays, long since closed. Now they gathered here to struggle with holding on, but once again letting go. It was so much more than 2x4s and timber.
Elevator was coming down.
We're heading somewhere I wouldn't head here. Now more than the last green elevator was disappearing. It was